welcome back to English Ambition, and I'm Kakuli, your guide, your teacher, and as you know by now, I will make your journey of English simple and interesting, not only in class 11th but also in class 12. So those of you who have not yet subscribed my channel, please do so, because it will be immensely helpful for you in 11th as well as in 12 as well. Okay, and today we are doing the chapter, or the poem I should say, The Voice of Rain by Walt Whitman. Okay, now today I am only focusing on the important lines for question and the figures of speech basically. I have done this chapter in detail in my earlier video. Check it out. I am putting the link of that video in the description box. And today I am only doing the figures of speech and one or two extra words or lines. So this video will be very helpful for you just before the day of your exam when you're a little muddled up or you are a little nervous. And if you go through this video, all your doubts will be cleared. Okay, so in 10 minutes, we will have a clear picture of this poem, The Voice of Rain. So let's begin. Now in this poem, children, the poet is in a conversation with rain. He asks rain, "Who are you?" And then the rain gives an answer to the poet. So the first figure of speech in this poem is personification. So whenever, suppose throughout the poem, there is a line like, "I am the poem of the earth, eternal I rise, I descend to lave the droughts." Okay, in these lines, constantly personification has been used. Okay, so the first figure of speech that we will understand in this poem is personification. So, number one, personification. Now, the thing that comes to our mind, in many of our mind, is what is personification? Personification hai kya? Now, personification is a figure of speech where a non-living object is given a human or a living quality. ठीक है, तो हमको पता है कि rain cannot talk, rain doesn't talk. But in this poem, the poet assumes that the rain is speaking to him. And throughout the poem, last के दो lines छोड़ के, it is the voice of the rain. Okay, so I do this, I lave the fields, I descend. So constantly the rain is speaking in first person. So the first figure of speech is personification. Okay, कौन से lines में ये होंगे मैं और एक बार बता दूंगी as I go through the poem. Okay, so personification is very important. So as we begin the poem, as I told you, I am the poem of the earth. This is personification. But one more very interesting thing in this small line, I am the poem of the earth. Here one more figure of speech has been used. और वो क्या है? That is metaphor. Now what is a metaphor? A metaphor is a figure of speech based on comparison. ठीक है? But जहां पे like और as use नहीं होता वो metaphor होता है. Okay, now I am the poem of the earth. So the rain is compared to poem. ठीक है, rain is saying that I am the poem of the earth. So the rain is compared to poem. So in this line, two figures of speech have been used. Now I know you will be a little confused कि मैम एग्जाम में आए तो कौन से लिखने हैं. Now whatever you write, if you say that I am the poem of the earth, rain is speaking, तो ये personification है, correct? Now if you say poem of the earth, मैम ये तो metaphor है, correct? So दोनों ही correct होंगे. And if options are there in MCQ, I'm sure both the options will not be there. So अगर personification है, हम personification में tick करेंगे. अगर metaphor is there in the option, then we will choose metaphor. Okay, I hope this is very, very clear. So we have learned two figures of speech. नेक्स्ट, एज आई टोल्ड यू, एक आध वर्ड्स है जो मैं दोबारा एक्सप्लेन कर रही हूँ. इटर्नल आई राइज, ये क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. व्हाई इटर्नल? बिकॉज वाटर वेपर्स राइज continuously, because it is a constant process. Evaporation is a continuous and constant process, that is eternal. Number 2, a very important word again, impalpable, means something that we cannot touch or cannot feel. Okay, so water vapors we cannot feel, we cannot touch, so that's why it is impalpable or intangible. Now children, please refer to my earlier video. Again I'm referring to that again, reminding you. Why? Because उसमें ये सारे चीजें पूरे डिटेल्ड में किया हुआ है. This video I am doing as a quick recap, basically for the figures of speech. Now let us come to the next figure of speech, bottomless sea. What is this figure of speech? This is a hyperbole. Now what is a hyperbole? Hyperbole is a figure of speech where there is an exaggeration. हम थोड़ा सा बढ़ा चढ़ा के बोलते हैं उस चीज की इंटेंसिटी को समझाने के लिए. Now bottomless sea. We all know that sea has a bed in the bottom. It is not bottomless. Then why are we saying bottomless? ये समझाने के लिए कि the sea is very very deep, unfathomable, very deep. So sea की गहराई को, depth को समझाने के लिए the poet is using the figure of speech hyperbole, and these two words, bottomless sea, is an example of hyperbole. Okay, now this is done. Next, there is another figure of speech, another new one, altogether changed and yet the same. Altogether changed and yet the same. ये सुन के शुरू में लगेगा कि कैसे पॉसिबल है, altogether change भी हो गया, same भी है, how is it possible? So this is a figure of speech called paradox. What is a paradox? When there is an apparent contradiction. Contradiction means opposite. See, when you read the sentence, it seems it's meaningless. It is completely contradictory. It is opposite. Okay, because the poet says altogether changed yet the same. वो change भी हो गया, same भी है, कैसे है? Now it is very important. First of all, you understand this is a paradox. Paradox, I have explained to you just now what it is. Now how is this meaningful then? है ना, इसका कोई definitely a deeper meaning also is there. So the deeper meaning is when the water vapors rise to the heaven, to the sky, they form the clouds, which are completely different to look at from the water vapors. Water vapors are invisible, they are intangible, they are impalpable, हमको दिखता ही नहीं है. But we can see the clouds, they are huge, beautiful clouds, we can see them. So देखा जाए तो they are completely different from the water vapors. But in reality, they are also nothing but water vapors or water droplets clustered together, isn't it? So apparently different है, but असलियत में वही है. They are H2O, they are water vapors, and they are the same water droplets that evaporated from the earth. So this is a paradox. Okay, next line let us come to I descend. Again I'm reminding, ये I वाले जितने भी sentences हैं इसमें अगर questions है कि what is the figure of speech, you will say it is personification, because rain has been personified, it is speaking over here. I descend means fall as rain to lave the droughts, to wash the parched earth, because before monsoon it is summer, the earth is dry, the trees and the leaves have dried up in the heat of the sun, and I clean the dust particles, the atomies, and I make the earth beautiful. Next, we move on to the next line, that is, I give back life to my own origin. Okay, please underline, I give back life to my own origin. Very important for your questions. वैसे तो all these that I am pointing out today are very important for your question. So this is also a paradox. So we have got examples of two paradox over here. Okay, I gave back life to my own origin. Means, see, first if we read this line, it seems very strange. It's saying, how is it possible? I give back life to my own origin. How is it possible? Origin का क्या मतलब है? जहां से मेरा जन्म हुआ, तो मैं कैसे उस चीज को प्राण दे सकती हूँ? या how can I give life to that thing from which I myself was born? But it is right, because the water vapors came out of the land, of the sea, that is of the earth. But the same water vapors, when it goes to the sky and form clouds, and then they descend, shower on the earth gets a new lease of life, isn't it? The seeds germinate, the plants bloom, the flowers bloom, the earth is filled with plush greenery, so it gives life to the earth. So I give back life to my own origin. Okay, this is a paradox again, right? Now, next, the last two lines are in bracket. Again, I'm just discussing one more important question from here. Why the last two lines are in bracket? Because they are not the voice of the rain. It is not the voice of the rain. It is the voice of the poet. After listening to the voice of the rain, the poet draws a conclusion where the poet makes a parallelism of rain to the poem or the music that is created from the heart, or that takes birth from the heart of a poet. Okay, so with this I end this short video where I have quickly told you the figures of speech. I hope now the poem is crystal clear to you, and if it is still not clear, please go back to my original video where this has been elaborately done. Okay, so subscribe my channel and don't forget to share this video with your friends, and leave your comments below what type of videos you would like to see. Did you enjoy that short video? Would you like such short videos for the other poems or other chapters as well? Okay, please let me know. Thank you and happy learning.